and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire in our self-imposed challenge, Fear of Walking, where our professional troops, our professional army, is not allowed to travel around without some sort of motorized or engined transport. So the walkers are acceptable because at least the robots do the walker legs are doing the walking. But that is the one exception where we have a unit that is going to be walking per se. The rest of the professional army needs to be provided something with an engine, and really walkers have engines. That's why we're letting them be. Okay, I presumably want to get a road over to save those guys. So, in theory, there's nothing really just stopping us from ranking one out like so. It's a bit of a road to nowhere, but in theory that should provide him with some supplies. And then I assume that there's a transport hub, and there is. Let's go ahead and nationalize it. So it's a little bit more functional. You need to say we just took the city over, so they're not particularly happy. And the governor position is vacant at the moment. We're pro-government. We're not actually really interested in commerce. We'll take this one. I'm going to hold off on here. A little bit tempted to go Air Force, a little bit tempted to do probably Secret Service, but no, we'll hold off. New governor. You wouldn't be bad for the governor. Let's just grab a second one just in case we can get a better roll. Let's grab another junior.
Roger that.
And we did get a better roll. Another Cap 3. A little bit investigate, a little bit interrogate. Both of which are pretty useful for city leadership.
Okie dokie.
Zone upgrade. The place we just took over was level 2. We can make it level 3. We'll do that. We'll accept the embassy. We'll accept scientific cooperation. We like merit. This is kind of a trade-off where trading one thing I want for a different thing I want. So do I want the government, or do I want the merit, or do I want the government? I think I'll accept losing the government. I'd also raise opinion with the foreign country.
Yes, sir.
And while it does say you're getting people, it doesn't look like we actually get people from this event. Yeah. And more merit.
Roger that.
So we're up to 80 merit. If we can keep it there, that's going to be good. Is 80 merit the one I think it is? Yeah. Capable small business. So if we can successfully get that, that will rapidly increase our credit income. So we'll get 2 credits per every 1,000 pop in the country. So that'll generate a lot of credits, and that'll allow us to spend a lot more. Could also enjoy the administrative conferences here. Granted, we got a 13% chance because of the high merit, so that's good. And these bonuses here are not too bad, but we're not. It's definitely more interested in the government ones than I was in, or in the meritocracy ones than the government ones. Okay, let's track cards can we play here. We're not going to expel population. Give you a sensor. Factory. We'll immediately give you an automated clinic. Give you a power plant. And then we'll go ahead and give you a Labor Day. Raise the worker happiness. Oh, which didn't do anything. Okay. Maybe that wasn't the best of choices. And then we'll try Mission Impossible.
Roger that.
Standard failure. That did give us 1 fate point. Which does mean we can go ahead and put a viewpoint in.
Okie dokie.
And the viewpoint, I believe, is Zone Happiness. Zone Loyalty +1. Cool.
All clear, sir.
Tank showing off why the tanks are good. Okay, that's all the industry that I can spare road building for this turn. Construction-wise, supply base finished, metal mine improvement finished. Theory, I could probably just continue to expand that. We'll see how the metal looks like over the next couple turns. Ag dome's finished. Apparently we're food positive with the new city taken, so that's good to see. Supply base is done. And everything else is proceeding at speed. Well, the main things we want to be continuing to expand is the industry and the deep core gas extractor.
Roger that.
Everything in the now.
Okay, let's move it over there. Over here, we need more roads over here. You have to say the, I think it's voluntarism is making these pop up every once in a while. 18th Odessa Extra military regiment? Yeah, so that's definitely a voluntarism. That's this profile kicking in. And we're between turns 200 and 100, so that's the 10% chance. So 1 in 10 turns, we get an extra regiment of militia. And they just tend to pop up in random spots. Sometimes that's useful, sometimes that's like you're coming along the area, like, where did you come from? When you're scanning your territory. Okay, so these guys will probably actually be in supply, because they'll get supply off this road. The supply picture just isn't updated. Yeah, so we've got the 2 neighbors. 3 neighbors. Okay, so we now neighbor 4 of the
Yes, sir.
majors. Cyander, or Paysander here, it was the score leader. Are they still the score leader? No, that is now us. For that new city, we have jumped to first. We're not very far in first. We're only winning by 3%. We need to get 50% to win, so we're going to have to still take over a bunch of stuff. We're now first on the podium, and we know where the people who are second and third are now. In fact, I think we know where everyone but 1 person is. We're not in diplomatic contact with 1 person. So we have Hosket, Blackland, Cylander is in here. Yeah. Somewhere in here. Not sure if these 2 might actually be at war with each other. In fact, that's saying Blackland, but that's so obviously Cylander. Means it probably got handed over by less willingly handed over, yeah. And then we've got Wormran over here. So we know over there, them. Okay, yeah. So we don't know where the person who's doing the worst is. They're the only one we don't know where they are. Construction's looking good. We just put the new governor in, so we'll have more events. We'll have a decision about him in leading that territory next turn, I think. You know, we'll play blind rations. People will calm down after a while. We'll hold off a bit on there. Don't want to use all the political power yet, or the fate points yet. Yes, we'll see how the zone proves over the next couple turns. Plus, we need to get probably a little bit more solid of a connection out to there. You know, we've only got the road, the sealed road with the supply base along the way. Rail would be far better. Being attacked by some of the marauders, which is good. That's one way to deplete them before we have to encircle and fight them the hard way. Back to us. Round 79, killed 300 infantry, we have 7 decisions. There's geotectonics, that'll save us a lot on roads going forward. Motorized MG infantry. We got the mechanized version of that, so we probably can pass on the motorized version. And there we go, there's fuel efficiency. You want BP to go up again by a lot. Okay, I think we can do that. That might be a little... Well, that won't be tight, that's just we're gonna have to build, sort of, level up some of the expansion bureaucratic assets. Policy speech. Out of these, the one I want the most is the mind, because we're already going to expand the bureaucratic assets. And mind is, in theory, suppressed by fist, so we shouldn't have that too negatively affecting us. Ammo printer? Yeah, let's do ammo printer.
Copy that.
Yep. Zone. Sure.
Okie dokie.
And then zone orders. So we'll give you a small budget. You're going to want to be able to pay the workers. We're going to give you a sign-up bonus for recruitment. That city's big enough that I don't really want it growing. So we'll go ahead and say, you're not going to be able to hire them anytime soon, but once you are able to hire them, hire 500 of each. Allow emergency food, and we want the zone to improve in happiness, so we'll leave it unincorporated to double the natural restorative forces.
Yes, sir.
There we go. And that's showing the limit of our logistics right now. So this guy did not get adequate logistics because he's just too far down that road. Potentially because this truck station's not providing enough. Or, yeah, probably would be a little bit next turn. Oh, interesting. I didn't grab those X's. Oh, yeah, okay, so we're bottlenecked trying to get supplies out here. That's not very good. We did get the geotectonics, so the cost is down a lot. Yeah, okay. So like so, we got the rail in. We will go ahead and construct here the rail head.
Okie
And if that kicks in, that should help a lot with getting the logistics lease out to the city. And then we can hope that the truck station in the city will do the last mile and everything else. Deep core finished, industry finished. Power bank finished. Truck station finished. So we'll expand most of that, really.
Roger that.
Expand the truck station. We are going to keep dumping colonists here,
Roger that.
which should allow us to continue to expand these.
Roger that. Roger that.
And you, I think you're the supply base, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And then here we're gonna... Actually, how many government assets do I have versus what do I need for the demand? We have 14, we need 16, so I need to do 2 levels. And we need to jump by about 300. So that's probably going to be best to going from 1 to 2 instead of 2 to 3.
Roger that.
So instead of upgrading level 3, we want to upgrade the 2 level 2s. Or the 2 level 1s to 2. Instead of the 2 to 3, yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm also going to splurge here a little bit, political oil rise. And play a archaeological effort.
Copy that.
Okay, we're going to show there's none over there. Probably isn't one over here.
Copy that.
Okay. Well, worth the attempt. Okay, slight shortfall in the water. Also go ahead and... We're not in a rush to do this, but we'll do it anyway. Get the mine going. Water mine going. A bunch of new construction, everything that isn't new is finished. That's what it looks like, okay. Oh, I didn't queue up the industry or the gas core. You probably still want those to continue expanding.
Yes, sir.
At least until we max out what we can get in this city.
Yes, sir.
so infantry will be maxed out in the next one. Well, the city's also growing pretty quickly, so there's a decent possibility the city will grow enough that we will be able to level it up to 6 soon. Okay, well, everything is looking good. And we apparently have enough money coming in, so that's good. I have missiles from Manpad. I have missiles for... missiles, obviously. Yeah. Okay. We're waiting for... well, working on walkers, I think. Tech-wise. Yeah, we got 50% progress in the walkers. I think next turn we'll swap over from fuel mix to fuel efficiency. Yeah, next turn we'll swap over from fuel mix to fuel efficiency. What is the eco working on? We're on something. Probably not something I need to modify. I can always let it finish what it's working on. Scanning to figure out what it is. Ammo printer. No, well, actually, maybe what? Why I'm looking at this tree when I can just look at this tree. Look at the report. Finished geotectonics. What did I queue up? Oh, I queued up the yeah. Can't even remember what I did at the beginning of the turn. That's maybe not a good sign for how tired I am. Military research, work hydraulics, progressed to 11, so it's at 50, so it's got 5 turns left. I feel like our research rate slowed down a little bit. Mostly watching the majors move around. We do have a lot of territory at this point that's bordering majors. Detect the Marauders. The Marauders have a bad day. Detect the Marauders, and the Marauders once again have a bad day. Good to see. Here we go. Decima League, round 80. We killed 800 infantry. We have 5 decisions. Gain administrative competence. Sub-vocalizer towers is actually something I'll deploy right away. Actually, I'm full on support the leader action here. We'll piss the city off. Because we're not pro heart. I'm surprised there's actually some leaders that would get pissed off from this, but they'll live.
Roger that. Affirmative.
Okie dokie. Roger that.
So sadly, that's suppressed the profile, meritocracy profile a little bit, yeah. So we've got administrative competence, but we no longer are rolling for capable small business, which is a little sad. No, extra administration rolls is not bad. And our frankly old tanks showing off that even though they're old, they still pack enough of a wallop. Helping to lower the unrest in the zone, which is helping the opinion come up. Once loyalty is over 50, we'll start taxing the zone. Let's give the zone its farm back. Give it the dome farm back. The railhead didn't finish. We are still getting better supplies out here, even with it not being finished, so we're not going to worry too much about it. Ooh, we actually took a casualty there.
Mission accomplished. Attack formation. Mission accomplished. Do it now. Mission accomplished.
Beat a few more of those guys. Food and water went down. Is that like administrator strain kicking in or something? Be annoying if it is. Oh, that doesn't look like what that is. Get where I can see the administrator strain. There it is. Okay, shouldn't have any significant problem. So presumably it's just we have we had some supply delivery issues going out to the west. And we still, in theory, have some supply difficulties going out there. The rail has helped because we got 10% on the rail. Next turn we'll have a full... Well, the turn after next we'll have a full 100% going down there. Oh, we've got a lot of delays on everything. Did I just invest in things to build? Yeah, it looks like that's the case. So we're investing in things to build. Whoops. Just delete everything by turn. I think we'll have... Well, I haven't built anything road-wise, so we should have more industry this turn to slap into stuff. So we'll see how that works. Water mines being expanded, which will help with the water. Yeah, let's also expand the farm.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll see if the logistic changes help as well. And then we're going to still slam more colonists in here. As workers, of course.
Roger that.
Watching all the majors move about. Currently have peace with all the majors that are adjacent to us, so we're not really at threat of anything. Kind of just in the race for the unclaimed neutral territory right now. Best league here, round 81. We have 7 decisions. And we just operationalized the OOB for the light armor grenadier corps. So now we can hopefully roll the the motorized and the mechanized version of those.
Okie dokie.
We're pro merit, so we're gonna take the relationship decline.
Roger that.
Let's come back and improve relations with them later.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go and take the motorized one.
Affirmative.
At least we'll be able to play that.
Affirmative.
A 1% chance of calming the protesters down by talking to them. I'll give in and give them some money. Nomad traders offer ammunition.
Yes, sir.
Sure. I think it's these nomads. Well, maybe it's not those nomads. Those only got 15 opinion of us. We neighbor nomads somewhere that we're appeasing, apparently. And I didn't build more roads, so we don't got more expand. Oof. Okay, so that's a logistics issue. If I've seen one. That's workers being assigned down here. Yeah, that's workers being assigned down here. That's fair. Okay, so we're gonna assign the colonists here. Get some more workers in the system. So I built too much stuff in landing ruins is what happened here. So we got a worker shortage. The stuff is completing, and that's affecting the logistics up north. Otherwise, everything else is working because the we've got enough industry this turn.
Okie dokie.
Okay, we're not going to be able to take much over here before we hit the immovable object that is the mountains here. We still haven't finished Walker. Hydraulics, 78. What's our tech rate on Walkers? Org military, 13. So 2 more turns we'll have Walkers. Eco's running a little bit slower, but Ammo Purge is a little bit less of a rush job. And then, oh, I should call you up and change your party.
Standing by for orders. Roger that.
Over to fuel
Roger
efficiency.
that.
Okay, so don't think we'll change anything. We need these construction. We need the workers available for the zone of work run properly. Actually, in theory, I just delivered as colonists enough workers, so everything should clear up next turn. What planet class is this? So this is a planet class from the base game. Statistics. This is a, I believe this is a Cerberus class. So incredibly hot. Is there a way overview-wise to look at what planet class this is? Try to remember which reports hold what information. An overview. Yeah, this is a Cerberus class planet. So absolutely hot. Yeah, I'm not able to find right now where it says the planet class. See, hot. Oh, got a reasonable amount of mountains. 40C is the cold parts of the planet. Biosphere, it's too hot to have any, so it doesn't really have any. Colonization, we did have a pretty high colonist initial colonization roll. 2.8 billion on the planet, where this big ruined city comes from. The apocalypse, of course, chunked that. We dropped to 1.6 million at game start. But yeah, this is other than a couple of rerolls on this one to max the population. This is a sort of standard Cerberus class planet, which is why we have lakes or seas and lakes of lava instead of water, and we have this is a river of lava going near our city here. River of lava, so on and so forth. So lots of lava. Makes for an interesting map. Obviously keeps the trees down, which is kind of what I was going for, because the self-imposed challenge that I'm running right now is to not use unmounted foot troops, pretty much. So everything has to have some sort of engined ride to it. You know, that probably would have worked on a planet with biosphere as well. You didn't necessarily need to have no biosphere for that. And in many ways, it might have actually been easier because they would have had petrol wells and stuff to pull from. Here we have to do biofuel and synthetic, or biofuel or synthetic or deep core mining for the oil. Oh, you said the heavy elements was 211%? I've recently rolled that. That's not too hard to roll. But even when you have a high heavy element percent, I tend to find if you have a planet with a biosphere, you tend to get oil instead of metal mines. Which is one of the reasons I picked a deader planet, so I'd have an easier time with the metal. Yeah, for a lot of the early game, we were scavenging. So we were getting plenty of metal that way. Oh dear, someone just took my road. My road and rail connection just fell. That's gonna be annoying for a turn, but... Okay, we have 2 decisions, 82. Let's at least fix the situation before we go and end the stream. Got the PP for a demand there. Give me my road back. Oh, these nomads. These nomads are the nomads I've been apparently getting buddy-buddy with. Okay, well they've somewhat pissed off the first motorized core by cutting off the motorized core's road. Okay, supply situation apparently here did not improve enough. Pull back into the green to help it a little bit. How did construction go over the end turn? Finish, 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 finish. Good to see. Obviously, you didn't get any progress because the road got cut. And everything else proceeded at speed and or finished. And yeah, gas core extractor industry is still going. So I definitely don't need as much points this turn construction-wise.
Copy that.
Roger that.
Roger that.
So obviously, well, we'll extend this road a little bit. I'd say, and then extend it quite a bit. Push like there. Okay, so we should see some improvements with logistics on the next turn. Let's go and drop, not that one. That one. Some free folk in the capital area.
Copy that. Copy that.
So there we go. Might have the capital city level up to 6 next turn. If it does, that'll open up leveling some stuff up again. And at this point, we've gone ahead and resecured this road. We might start a war with the nomads. They're in the low mountains, so I think we can deal with that. A little bit of troop there. And if this is low mountains, okay, that's going to be the hard hex to take because it's high. We don't have the walkers yet. But as long as we can get over that hex, then we should be able to take what's left in the nomad territory here. Okay, watching the majors take their turn. Yeah, definitely losing some territory we don't want to, but we should be able to take that back fairly quickly. Round 83, we have 5 decisions. Housing. That's something we might want to invest in. There's the war hydraulics being done. We'll give in here and take the fist. Don't really want the autocracy, but the fist is good. Thinking the Goss small arms here. We do Goss small arms into heavy combat armor. And then we'll see if we find the advanced version of the Goss small arms. If we don't, we'll still go ahead and, at that point, we'll probably just do a pass and upgrade everything.
Roger that.
There we go. Capital. Dessa to Metropolis.
Yes, sir. Roger that.
So how did the construction go over the intern? Everything's proceeded at speed. Truck station completed in the Northern Landing ruins. Londare has progressed to its truck station. We'll finish the next turn if there's no more delays. Gas station looks fine, or the deep core gas extractor looks fine. The industry 5 looks fine. Got a little bit of a water shortage. That really makes sense. Not allowed to upgrade the water mine. Mines cap out at 5, don't they? Mines cap out at 5. Okay. So if I do want more water, it's not the end of the world. I could nationalize the one over here. Yeah, we'll bite the bullet and nationalize this one. And then we'll go ahead and immediately turn around and upgrade this one level. So that should solve the water issue. I haven't maxed out the metal mine. Let's max the metal mine.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, we'll just accept here looking a lot better. Okay, progress being made. Okay, so that went well, that went well. You can get off that mountain now that we can fully control that mountain. We have a little bit of low mountain here, which we can steam across. Pressuring the nomads. Because, well, the nomads kind of pissed me off by taking my road. To be fair, why the nomads are having a bad day. This is low mountain, so our tank could roll across here and deal with the nomads to the south, but we don't have a problem with the nomads to the south yet. Okay, that looks fine. Definitely working on the deep core and the industry there. You know, let's cycle a turn and see if we get the Walker model on the next turn. Okay, look at the majors here. And I do like the fact that I'm seeing that the majors don't have enough guys to cover the entire border with us. Like, that would be a little bit of a warning sign that stuff is not going well for us. There we go, Odessa League. It's our turn. We got 400 infantry killed, motorized infantry killed over the intern. We got 3 decisions to pick for this turn. And someone's having problems with arachnids, let's just say. And okay, we got lucky. We did discover the walkers on the turn after we did them. Light mechanized armor grenadier army. That's pretty nice. Ooh, another militia project.
Copy that.
So we're gonna need walkers. So we develop a walker model. Might as well use ammo, so we'll go the biggest one. And we do want these to be fairly lightweight because they're going to be walking around. Actually, let's cancel this. Let's do a blueprint quickly so we can check the options. New blueprint. So, biggest gun. I think we got enough petrol that we can go ahead and slap the biggest engine on these. So now the question is, can I get reasonable mobility up armoring them? So 25mm steel is no penalty, so that would be fine. Get a little bit lighter with the polymer. We could go all the way up to 50mm on the polymer, which I think is what we'll do. Yeah. Without any real movement penalties. Like, we went up to the really heavy... In fact, actually, we could go full polymer on these, and it wouldn't be too bad. Like, steel, that would be bad. Full polymer is not that bad. It does put a lot of rare metals into the armor, which is one reason I often don't do polymer. I usually stick with steel. Because metal is cheap. Rare metal is not so much, but... Yeah, I think I'll splurge. We'll go the full 150mm armor here on the polymer. Because we have polymer, we can do that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And with that, we can happily take over all the nearby mountains. All the stuff that was in the way because we didn't have large quantities of professional foot troops is very quickly not going to be a problem anymore. Okay, so these guys might have a little bit of a supply issue this turn. Shouldn't be too bad. They're cut off by supply, and then we can put the road into this hex on the next turn. I have a feeling there's a guy in the mountain specifically. Because the fact that we kind of went around, the mountain didn't get lost to us. Or didn't basically become our territory. It implies to me that there's something in there. Might be reaching just a little bit with that, but I don't think I am. Okay, that didn't go super well. You know, I think I have yet to lose a truck in battle. Which, well, I've yet to lose a truck since I've invented better trucks. And I don't think I've even lost one even when I didn't have better trucks, which is somewhat surprising to me. Okay, that's everyone in the east. Keep forgetting about this guy that volunteered in the south. We'll move him up to form picket along here on the south. Apparently there's not very many people out in this desert. It is a desert after all, so that's maybe not surprising. Might send the tanks after the nomads here. We do control the entire mountain range at this point, so I could just fight the industry bullet. I think I will. Slam the road across it. So we got a bunch of nomads over here. That just means they're mostly territory. I don't think nomads are going to stand up to, you know, tanks. Even though these are still the old first-gen tanks. I did design a second generation of tank that we never got around to using. Light tank. They're still rolling around with the old 40mm howitzer tanks. Do have 60mm ones. Could be using. But why buy new tanks when the old ones work perfectly fine, apparently? Construction's going well. How's the orgs going? Supplied, still working the fuel efficiency. So I think the walkers we were developing are going to get locked in with the 26 fuel efficiency. They might get a little bit more. It depends on when the fuel efficiency kicks in. At the beginning of the deck, beginning of the model design, at the end of the model design. That was a lot of progress on small arms. I guess it's a fairly early game tech. We just discovered it really late at this point, so we've got a lot of research capacity. Got 48% in that in one go. Eco here, we're working at 10% chunks. And the motorized heavy MG. Got one more turn after that. Yeah. I've got no demands I'm ignoring. I do have a demand I'm ignoring. I should have more political power coming in, and I don't. in the near future, because apparently I didn't get enough from expanding the bureaucracy the way I planned it. How much short are we on the demand? $31. Okay, so I think I probably just underestimated the fact that we're going to lose. The bureaucracy gets less efficient the more you have. Put a quick bureaucratic office in over here. That'll probably meet the needs. That way, if I forget about it next time, it should hopefully complete. So looking at the time, I let this part go a little long. We are at the end of the stream, up at 22.6% of victory score. Our population has risen to 30.7% of the population on the planet. Those cloning facilities definitely doing work. We have 14.4% of the planet under our control. So if anything, we should probably be more focused on getting more planet rather than necessarily getting more people. So getting both at the same time is always nice. I'm not going to mentally do the math right now, but I think at this point, I think most of, obviously, because the two score leaders here have 56% of the population together. I think all the population at this point, functionally all the population at this point, is accounted for. There is some free folk and stuff kicking around, but there's no neutral cities at this point. So there's a bunch of planet to fight over, and then if we want more population, either we got to grow it to sort of suppress everyone else's score, or we have to take it. Obviously, taking off the score leader is the second place is probably the best way to get score. And in fact, second place apparently has the most population out of all the other majors. On the other hand, we do know Blockland has a fairly exposed city. Devon Moth here, they managed to get to it before we did. And that's a pretty exposed city. Arguably isn't even a very big dash out to their other cities. I could definitely see a scenario where we overrun the city, hopscotch over from that city to that city, pick up a couple cities, and there's another city. So yeah, it definitely wouldn't be the worst war to fight them. And there's another city over there. And then Cyander's up here. We don't have enough info on Cyander. Though they've got some cities again. Maybe an argument that before we go to war with Cyander, we want to go to war with Blackland. Because Blackland's just got good cities to take for us. In the meantime, though, we probably want to be trying to shore up our territory. We are kind of where we've got nice exposed plains that are not deserts. We've been rolling across those plains. We got a desert down here, which, to be fair, the new motorized wouldn't have too much of a struggle with. Like these guys up here wouldn't have too much of a struggle with, because the green bus 2s have some decent mobility. Move cost minus 30% action points helps a lot. Even in the desert where we're taking... What's the desert penalty on wheels? 50. Versus plains that are like 20? Plains are 15. So, yeah. Triple movement cost here makes the 30% cheaper movement cost pretty strong. And then Track's also 50. So again, that's kind of showing off the strength of the armored vehicles here. The armored vehicles have pretty decent movement speed, pretty decent action points. Yeah, so there's no bonus on these guys. They're neutrals, but the fact that they're not maliced, unlike the old buses got plus 60 action points. So they are real bad in the desert. Whereas the tanks and the newer trucks are much better in the desert. So I could definitely form a motorized one, and we can push through this desert here as well pretty easily. So we got some expansion options. Noticing I haven't put the colonists down for the turn. I know where we're going to put them, so I'll just put them down before I forget again.
Roger that.
We are in 5 turns. When this hits 50,000, we are going to start looking to set up another colony. Here's a good spot if I want more salvage. Here's actually an interesting spot for volcanic power. I don't think we're hungry for power, but volcanic power would be pretty nice over here. Lots of places to extract power in specific We've got a pretty nice water mine there if we're looking for more water. We could do metal over here. Could even do something where it's like metal and volcano. Rare earth over here. We can do something rare earth, volcano. So we got a lot of options on how to continue to grow. Political power, we're doing pretty well. And again, we're in first place. We're solidly in first place. I haven't done enough spying to determine how we necessarily line up against number 2, right? It might just be that we're really overly benefiting from that cloning facility and keep our tech level up. Let's see, trade details, economy details. Not sure. I don't think I have any military details, so I can't see how big their military is offhand. Oh, this is a number 2, so I'm trying to gauge how powerful number 2 is. And yeah, they've got 300,000 people across their entire country. And we have that in one city. And they're number 2. Oh, no, that's the population. So they also have 277,000 workers. So yeah, they have the same civilian population as we have people in the capital. And then, yes, we definitely have more people than them. We might have a slightly... Yeah, I think we have a slightly lower worker ratio. So we have more capacity to expand than they do. So yeah, their economy is maybe doing a little bit better than ours. What they're spending it on. They got 10 levels of air bases, they got a lot of solar panel fields. Probably don't need that much power, but they've got it. You know, looking at their assets, they didn't get the luck of the draw that we did with the very heavy, or the very rare and the rare archaeological sites. So they have no cloning facilities or stuff, right? So we're probably getting away with, well, I was definitely getting away with a lot less industry because we've got auto factories everywhere. We've got grav collectors and auto factories. No, that's the ammo factory. Where's the auto factory? There's the auto factory. So we got an auto factory, we got automatic cloning, we got grav collectors and stuff that they don't have. So that's probably why we're able to keep up with them with a lot less workers. But yeah, I think we're in a state where we can definitely win this. Maybe not in a state where I want to start butting heads with the major, because there's definitely so much empty free real estate that we're rushing for. Though butting heads with majors is, there's a major city, there's a major city, there's a major city, there's a major city. And I could definitely imagine a scenario where if we're playing our cards right, that's something we can just run into rapidly with a motorized blitzkrieg and just take a bunch of very valuable stuff. Though a lot of that is also getting the industry going. I think we need to get the industry a little bit higher. Though it's doing pretty good at this point. We're getting thousands in this point. And we're upgrading level in Industry 5, and now we can go up to Industry 6. Industry 6 would also help a lot by centralizing the industry a little bit more. So right now we're getting... well, technically we're upping 8,000 IP, or 800 IP to 1.4 thousand IP, so we're a little bit extra productive on it. If we do get up to 6, you can probably expect that ratio to hold. So we'll be pulling like another 1,000 plus IP. And with that, we'll definitely be able to just crank out motorized brigades, mechanized brigades. maybe get back to the point where it's the petrol being the issue and not, well, or either back to the point where the petrol's the issue or it's the metal being the issue. Which is, it's good when you've got something that is a bottleneck that is not industry. But yeah, I think this is where we're going to go ahead and put the part break in for today's stream and then today's part. If you're watching on YouTube, if everything goes according to plan, there will be another part up for you tomorrow. I do record this live to Twitch under the username Wilcol, and I upload it later to YouTube under the username Wilcol100 using the local recordings. So YouTube should be reliably getting 1080p. Twitch might not technically get quite so high quality. Tonight's stream was Shadow Empire. Tomorrow is going to be Grand Tactician Civil War. The day after that is going to be The Long Dark. The day after that is going to be Victoria 3, continuing that great Shin game. And the day after that will be the return of Shadow Empire. So that is the near future, assuming nothing comes up delaying any of the streaming schedules. Before I forget, let's get the save in quickly. So this is the end of the third stream of this game of Shadow Empire. I do think it's going fairly well. I don't think at this rate that the rate that we're getting victory points, it's probably not going to end in the next stream. It'll probably take a couple more streams at this rate, but we're definitely moving. Right, we're moving and shaking. We may start running into logistic problems. In fact, we're arguably already running into logistics problems. Supplies over such great distances can be a little bit of a struggle sometimes. And we're arguably going to make it worse before we make it better. In fact, we're arguably never going to make it better. We're going to do what we can to make it manageable. And then part of that is also maybe not starting conflicts where we don't need to. So, like, yeah, we could go after Wormrand. In fact, I think Wormrand would be a potentially good target to go after. They've got 3 cities out here. But I think they're also not necessarily got a lot of score, right? So Wormrand, they've got like 8.2 score. They've got 10% of the world population, and it's probably in those 3 cities, right? So don't sneeze at that score. That's worth like 5% of the score in those cities. But yeah. But is that the target we want to fight, or do we want to fight Blackland, or do we want to fight the number 2? That's what's coming up. So yeah. Yeah, I've already done the stream announcements. Told you where you can find it. If you're wanting to leave a comment and you're watching on Twitch, I try to respond to comments live when I see them. If you want to leave any comments and get them responded to during this stream, try to leave them soon. I'm going to leave the stream for a minute after I stop the YouTube recording. If you missed the stream and are watching it later on Twitch, or you're watching it on YouTube, YouTube is probably better for asynchronous comments, so please try to leave your comments over there. I've already told you what the username is for Twitch and what the username for YouTube is, so you should be able to find it. I think I'll leave it in the description of the channel. And there's, I think, links between the two in the channel bios. So you should hopefully be able to get from one to the other. If you're watching YouTube and can't wait till the next part comes up tomorrow, it's probably already been streamed to Twitch, so you can probably sneak over to Twitch and watch the old VOD. I do try to record such that I've got like a 2-day buffer for editing and uploading if I need to do any editing. And for some of the stuff like Grand Tactician, I do editing. Maybe don't do the most expert of editing, but there's some minimal editing to get that up. So as I said, the 2-day buffer means I recorded 4 parts. We've got 2 days to get them up. At least get the first of the 4 parts up. And I've got 4 days before they should all be up. Which in theory, because I just recorded 4 parts, means the next one should have been recorded for you before you're hearing this. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wish everyone the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.